let's talk Indy 11.
Okay.
You played with them this past summer in the inaugural season, where 10 wins in the division, a division title. You play against one of the best teams in the league, and I mean, if we're being honest, probably the two best teams play each other in the first round of playoffs, and that's how the season ended. But in a really cool place in Minnesota, playing in front of 6,000 fans. When you think back on all of those things, I guess, what are your thoughts?
I mean, my immediate thoughts are I wasn't expecting it. Like, I had never played in that environment. Indy 11 was kind of like, oh, it's home. I guess that's where I'll play. And then I walk into the environment at home and that environment. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I think it just ended up being a lot more of a bigger deal than I thought it was going to be, if that makes sense.
For sure. So, I mean, you came from, playing high school. Had you played in front of, like, that many fans before and, state playoffs and stuff like that?
Well, so I went to a super small high school, so we never made it that far. We lost first round sectionals usually. So, I mean, that was definitely a first for me.
What was it like that first game at Grand Park playing? Well, one, it was the inaugural game in the league. And then it was, the first time you were playing with all these women that, you hadn't played with before, you probably knew a couple of them, but still. And then also just in that environment.
So I actually wasn't there for the first couple games. So I didn't play in that inaugural game because I came in late. It was a whole thing. I wasn't playing for Indy at first, and then I ended up coming in. And my first game was at Racing Louisville, and the BYB, some of them traveled. So that was my first experience, and set off red and blue smoke bombs in the parking lot as we were leaving. I'm like, wow, these people are committed. And then, I mean, from there, they were at every game other than the, Michigan games. That makes sense. But, I mean, it was just surprising how many fans were there to, like, support the women. I wasn't expecting that. So, yeah, it was cool.
And you're getting a lot of love from the comments right now. I don't know if you're seeing them coming through. A lot of your teammates and stuff are saying Addie's my favorite and stuff like that. So that last game, obviously, you were there. You scored a goal against Detroit when we played at the Mike. What was that experience like, just playing not at Grand Park, but in a new place for once?
It was cool. All of our games that were away that we traveled were a lot of fun. I mean, we got to be with each other all day. It was usually there and then turn around and come back, so they were late nights, and they were fun. And that game specifically, I can remember it was super hot. Field wasn't great. It was one of those games where, like, we just somehow got a goal and ran away with it. And, I mean, I'm just glad it was me. So, yeah.
Was yours the one that, like, was the slow roller across the line?
It was like I just shot it and it just, like, barely got into the post. And I'm like, you know what? I'll take it.
It doesn't matter how they all count the same, right? They all count as one. So Ella told us her story of how she never thought she was going to be playing for Indy last year. Sounds like yours was the same. Tell me the story about how you ended up playing for Indy 11 last summer.
So I play at Louisville, University of Louisville. So I was planning on playing for Racing Louisville. They were in our conference, I know. But then, I don't know, I wanted to go home. And I was originally going to play for Pauly, and then I switched, and then I called him again and was like, hey, I actually do want to play. He's like, oh, of course, come on. So, yeah, just it's home, so that's what I decided to do.
Did you know Pauly from before, just him coaching the area and you being from the area?
I mean, I knew of Pauly. So I played for Fire, where he coaches, and then I played for BK when I was super young, and he's one of the assistants with Indy 11. So I knew of Pauly. I just hadn't played for him yet, but it was cool to finally get to.
Yeah, that was cool. BK's in the chat, too. I saw him. He was in here last week, too.
Yeah.
BK supporting big time. So I guess a couple questions just, based off of your experiences here in the summer. I guess, what was your favorite away trip? And then what was your favorite venue to play at outside of Indianapolis?
So I watched Ella's, and I'm going to go with the same. Both Minnesota. Minnesota was just awesome because, I mean, it was the first away trip that we were all there. We were all there for a while and together and in a hotel. And then the field we played on was insane. So cool. So, yeah, definitely that one.
Okay. So, we have tryouts coming out this next week, 19th and 20th. And they work. We've been telling people, I mean, Maddie Williams was found at tryouts last year, and then she goes on to score double-digit goals. So I guess, what would you say to somebody that might be on the fence about whether or not the tryout, hey, maybe I'm not good enough, I don't want to go? What would you kind of say to them?
I mean, Maddie was a huge part of our team, so I guess that's evidence to come. Also, I think it's just going to be a lot of fun. Like, it's 2 days of, I'm looking forward to it. It's 2 days of, scrimmaging. So, I mean, even if you don't make the team, it's still just going to be a lot of fun and I think a great experience. So, yeah.
Let's talk about your time at Louisville now. So, freshman season, your first time, I'm assuming you played in the spring, but obviously not the fall competitive games. And then you came from high school where you scored 200 goals in your high school career, I guess. What was the switch like, and what was that first season like playing in the best conference in the country?
Very different. It's funny because I went from high school and I scored an unreasonable amount of goals I shouldn't have been scoring, and I didn't really score at all this season. So, I mean, that's proof that it's like the competition is just different, and it takes a completely different level to be able to score. It's much harder to score goals. I think I'm glad I graduated early because it got me kind of adjusted, but I think that next season I'm going to be more ready, if that makes sense. It was a switch for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
but, yeah.
You can't experience it until you're in it. So that makes sense. So did you graduated in January. So were you enrolled in Louisville? So this was your second semester, you said?
Yeah. So I took a full semester of classes, 5 classes, and then played soccer. So, yeah.
You felt like getting there early helped you at all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think I would have been ready to play in the first games if I hadn't come. So I'm definitely glad I did.
I mean, like you said, it's that you look down, your schedule, and it's number 14, number 7, number 10, number 12, number 2, number 3, number 1. So you're playing against some of the best teams in the country, I guess. This is one question I wanted to ask you too. You scored 200 goals in high school. At Louisville, you're listed at least on the roster as a midfielder. How would you describe what your position or your best position is?
So I started it. I'm a 10. I played 10 for Indy 11, and then I played a 10 most of my club career, sort of. And then I played a 10 at the beginning of the year here. And then towards the end, I switched to a winger and loved it and did better there. So I don't know. I think it just kind of depends on the people who are around me. And I think if I'm attacking, then I'm happy. So that's pretty much, I don't really have a label for my position at this point.
Okay, nice. Someone asked in the chat, who was your favorite Indy 11 teammate that you played against during the college season?
I mean, it's Ella and Molly, I think, just because, I mean, they're both midfielders and we were just going at it the whole game. I won a header over Molly at one point and she was pissed about it. And it was just a lot of fun because we were battling it out the whole game. So, yeah, those two. Any
other moments, whether it's Indy 11 related or not, from the college season that stood out for you?
I think when we beat Memphis away, because that was our first big win, and it was obviously my first big win in college, and just to see how big of a deal it was for everybody I had a lot of fun playing in that game. So yeah.
What was your experience like, kind of like just getting used to the team and meeting the other women and kind of just getting used to playing in college and having new teammates?
Honestly, the teammates were the best part. I feel like our team has one of the best cultures. I obviously haven't played up for other people's teams, but I feel like we're as good as it gets. Like, we're all best friends, and my class is awesome. So I think that was the easiest part, is adjusting to the new teammates for me. So
were any of them in the class early enrollees as well, or no?
One of them was, and she's now one of my best friends. So I'm glad somebody came with me. Otherwise, that would have been hard. But yeah,
it worked out good. So you said that Memphis away win was one of the best ones, I guess. So same question I asked about Indy. What was your favorite away trip and away venue this college season?
We lost at Minnesota, which sucks, but I still think that was my favorite. It was just such a big game. It was such a big deal. And you could kind of feel the energy. Sucks that we lost, but I feel like we all knew after that game that we were capable of winning, and I think that's going to be good to have this next season. Like, we were capable of beating the people who went all the way. So I just think, I think that's going to be super helpful when we get into the postseason next season.
Ella's on too now. She said your name in all caps. She nominated you, by the way.
Oh.
You watched all the way through. She nominated you, so you're living up to the billing, though. You're doing great. So I guess if there's any Louisville fans on here, Louisville, the college we're okay with. Maybe not so much,
Right.
Blue City, the race in Louisville. But the Cardinals fans, what can they expect next season from you guys?
Oh, I think we're going to be really good. I think this year we all could feel it. We were really good. We just couldn't. We were missing something that was going to help us win the games. But we all felt that we were good. We felt like we were in there with Virginia, could have come out with a tie in that game. There's multiple games. Clemson, we should have won. So I just think that next year all of the young people are going to be ready, and I think we're going to be really good.
Big time. Okay, so we were talking about finals at Louisville. Is there any tradition? So just to give you context, so at Michigan State, when I lived on campus, every night during finals week at midnight, you open your window and you just scream. Everyone screams for about 60 seconds. It's weird, yeah. Are there any weird traditions you have at finals week at Louisville?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, we don't scream out of windows. I haven't. I mean, if there is, I haven't heard about it. So
I guess that's a very niche thing then.
Yeah.
And now that you're done, you won't find out, I guess, if there's ones later in the week. So obviously you're done now. Do you come home for a month break, or are you sticking around Louisville?
I'm gonna go home. Yeah, not too far. So I'll be home until January 7th, I think. So
okay.
A little.
So we did a little quick fire type things, or kind of just off topic questions with Ella too. The elephant in the room. We have to talk about it because this got brought up last time, and I think that's why she nominated you. Talk about Noah Khan, because I asked her who was on top of her Spotify Wrapped, and that was the answer right away. And she said that you showed him to her. So how did you discover him?
How did I discover him? Wow. I mean, it was years ago. I can't answer it. I mean, it was so long ago. But I mean, I've liked him since, I don't know, a long time. And at our last away trip, we got talking about music, and I'm just like, Ella, you have to listen to this guy. I've showed him to so many people, and nobody's disliked him. I think he should be way more out there than he is, I don't know.
Yeah, and Ella said tickets on pre-sale tomorrow. I got my code about 30 minutes ago, so I'm very stoked. So you were on this you weren't even on the bandwagon. You were on the wagon before it was a bandwagon. So do you do you know how many streams you had, or how many monthly listeners you had at that point?
I don't know, but I take full pride in that. I'm an OG fan.
Was he at the top of your rap this year as well?
I don't have Spotify.
Okay.
But yes, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
What would have been the top 3 songs?
From his new album, View Between Villages. Really like that one. And then Stick Season's a good one. I really like Part of Me. And it's so hard. Northern Attitude's also really good. Homesick. All the new ones would probably be up there.
Can't even keep it to 3. They're so good. No, that's totally fine. Shoot, I was totally caught up in that. I forgot my train of thought. Oh, here's where we're going. This is kind of related to studying in finals. What's the go-to late night snack or meal if you're up studying till midnight, 1 a.m.?
French onion dip, right away. Some Lay's Ruffles chips with French onion dip. Good stuff.
Okay, that's the first time I've ever heard that, and that's not what I was expecting, but that's great. No, that's great. And so this one, too, do you have more than one? I got messed up with this one last time because Xavier's tiny, apparently. Do you have more than one calf on campus at Louisville?
We do, but athletes only have one place that they can use their meal swipes, so I really – and it's good, yeah. I mean, yeah. You
have a favorite meal there? Do they do, theme nights or anything?
So on Fridays, they have brunch, and they have omelets, which are great.
Okay.
And they sometimes will make orange chicken, which is always good as well.
Funny enough, that was a staple at MSU too. Whenever it was orange chicken night, that line was long, and you had to get there early, or you had to go really late and hope they still had some. So we talked about Noah Khan, obviously. What is your hype music before games? Do you still listen to him, or you listen to stuff that's kind of more getting you up for it?
So I'll actually, on the way to the game, or for the first hour before the game, I'll go worship music.
Okay.
And then 30 minutes before, Jack Harlow, Lil Baby, and then I'm ready to go.
That is both sides of the spectrum.
I know. It's got to be chill, and then, okay, let's go.
Okay. So the worship music, is that like, so if it's a game in Indy or are you playing that in the car on the way? Is that?
Car. If I'm at Lynn at the stadium here, we have to get here super early. So for like 2 hours, AirPods are in, worship music, and then 30 minutes before, hype music.
Okay. Very nice.
Yep.
Sweet. So I noticed you had tattoos too. Do you want to show off any of the tattoos? Do a little tattoo tour?
Oh, I have an unreasonable amount. I'm not even small.
You said 9 or 19?
I have 13,
Okay.
maybe 12 or 13. I can do a little bit. I have just a cross.
Okay.
I got this one most recently.
Nice.
Bible verse up here. This is an outline of the house I grew up in.
Okay.
What else? I have an 8 because there's 8 people in my family, so that's just like, I don't know, a good number. And yeah, I have a lot of others, but it would take a little while.
Are you adding to it, or are you like, keeping it the way it is right now?
Yeah, so I want to do patchwork on my right arm and then be done. So at some point, I'm going to slowly keep adding to it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Very nice. Another one, it helps that you're local,
Mm-hmm.
that you grew up local. What is the favorite go-to, like, local eatery that's not a chain or anything, that's kind of just like a standalone?
In Indy?
Yeah, Indy area, yeah.
Okay, so in downtown Carmel, there's a butcher place, something. They make sandwiches, like, kind of in the back. Best sandwich I've ever had. I don't know what it's called. It's some type of butcher shop. But, so I know this is no help, but it's in downtown Carmel, the butcher shop, and they make really good sandwiches.
Okay. You said downtown Carmel, I got excited because that's where I am, but now I'm going to have to go in and investigate and find out all the sandwich places. Try them one by one.
The arts district somewhere. Is that?
Okay.
Where they, yeah.
Anyway. BK says Joe's Butcher Shop. Is that it?
Yeah. Yes, BK, that's it. Thank you. Yeah.
BK came in clutch last week.
Yeah.
He told us where Faux Real was, and now he's telling us the name of the food place. He's got it. He's got it down.
That's it. Great sandwich there. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. That's all the questions I got for you. Anything else you want to get off your mind?
I mean, no. That's about it.
Okay. Perfect. Well, we're going to cap it off by telling everybody that tryouts for the W League team are next week, the 19th and 20th. You can come. Well, first you have to register on the website, indy11.com, and make your way to the W League tab. Navigate from there. We hope to see all of you, whether or not you make the team. It's going to be an awesome day, but it is a great avenue to make the team as well. So, Addie, again, thank you so much. This was awesome. I hope you had fun, and so glad your finals are done as well.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Bye, everybody.